Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut 2, and of course, we talk about different things, not just the New York Mets. He's a Met fan, but I talk about different things. I like talking about all the other teams. And we're going to talk about trades. We'll talk about trades here. I've done a lot of videos on the Major League Baseball draft, which will be coming up on July 9th. So please check those videos out. I did some stuff on StreamYard, and I posted it, and I did a video earlier today that I posted just to give you a rundown of some of the players you'll hear about, but might not necessarily see in the next few years. But here we go. We're going to talk about three teams in this video: the Houston Astros, the New York Mets, and the New York Yankees. First up, the Houston Astros. Now, the Astros, 4.5 games behind the Texas Rangers. The Rangers have kind of had one of the big years, that I think probably the best start they've ever had. And they've gotten off to a great start. They have a great manager. And they've had to deal with some injuries. They had the bad injury to Jacob deGrom. But the Astros are kind of dealing with, I guess, a little bit of a honeymoon from when they won the World Series last year. And they're a little behind. So, the Astros, there is a rumor about them from Fanside. Headline, MLB rumors. Astros a fit for Cubs star Cody Bellinger. An appearance on Sports Talk 790 AM in Houston, Astros GM Dana Brown hinted at the team's trade deadline plans. Per Brown, the Astros are looking to upgrade the outfield, but prefer a player with the versatility to play the infield when called upon. The Astros' ideal trade deadline addition would be a versatile left-handed batter who can play both the infield and the outfield. Bellinger has experienced both as a corner outfielder and at first base. Considering the weak production of Jose Abreu at first for Houston, Bellinger could play either position and provide more from an offensive standpoint. There are two things holding back a potential Bellinger trade to Houston, however. First, it's unclear if the Cubs intend on selling at the deadline, given they are in a wide-open National League Central Division. If Chicago does sell, Bellinger could be a popular target because of his defensive versatility and his bat, which has improved immensely in 2023. Bellinger hasn't played since the middle of May due to injury, but if he can come back healthy before late July, he's an ideal rental target for Houston and others. The second matter holding back Bellinger to Houston trade is what he had to say about the Astros in the wake of the sign-stealing scandal. Well, I know one thing: you can't beat them, join them. That's what he should say. That would lighten the mood. Bellinger then, remember, the Dodgers called out several Astros players. Astros brass, such as Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, and other members of the 2017 World Series team would have to be on board with acquiring Bellinger in spite of his comments. Bellinger's Dodgers lost to Houston in the 2017 World Series, in part due to the Astros' illegal sign stealing. Based on fit alone, though, Bellinger makes a ton of sense. But again, you can't beat them, join them. And now the New York Yankees. What's the latest with Yankee prospect Oswald Peraza? Fansided ask. Anthony Volpe has the worst on-base percentage of any regular in baseball. The Yankees rookie shortstop has struggled to adapt at the major league level, and some fans want him sent down. By no means would this signal the Yankees giving up on the prized prospect of the future, but it would allow them to call up another top prospect, Oswald Peraza, who's playing far better than Volpe at AAA. Well, all this fanfare for Volpe, just let him play. He had so much pressure on him when the season started. They made such a big deal out of it. I said he was the next coming of Derek Jeter. That's very unfair for a young player to have to deal with that kind of pressure. Peraza is stuck between a rock and a hard place, wanting to be the ultimate team player, but also stuck in the minors when he could absolutely help the big league club. It's a delicate matter for Brian Cashman and the Yankees front office. How they handle these two prized prospects could very well determine the near future and perhaps even their jobs. Manager Aaron Boone has defended Volpe despite his struggles, which include notching the team lead in strikeouts. So that's not good, and he's supposed to be a leadoff hitter, or has been. Volpe has still had productive at-bats, Boone said. He's got 9 homers. He's gotten a lot of big hits for us. He's done a lot of big things. He's done a lot of winning things, even though he's hitting under 200. Just offensively right now, he's in the middle of a lot of winning games. While he's taken his lumps and had his struggles, he's also had some massive success too. Oh, really? Since May 19, Peraza has an OPS of 11.24 in 19 games. He's arguably the hottest hitter in minor league baseball, which makes the Yankees' insistence to keep him down all the more confusing. If not in a clean swap for Volpe, then perhaps the team could find another use for Peraza on the roster. Quote, this is from Boone, "We all feel very highly about who he is as a player and who he's going to be as a player." This is Boone about Peraza. To his credit, I've been in his shoes where I've got to taste the big leagues off a really good AAA season and had to go back for an extended period. And that's not the easiest thing. He's handled that really well. That's a credit to him and the player he is and the character he shows. New York runs the risk of stunting the growth of their two best young players at the same time. That's not something the front office can take lightly. Now, there's a lot of sort of contention here over the last year or so about these two players. A lot of people wanted them up last year, developing last year, and the Yankees kind of dragged their feet on this, on both of them. So it makes me wonder, are they really this good? Are they really this good? I don't know. And finally, in this video, the Mets. Now, I have gone after the Mets since May 7th, which is when I started ripping into them like you cannot imagine. I've called Daniel Vogelbach a loser. I've called for the firing of Buck Showalter, Billy Epler, the pitching coach and the hitting coach, and also wanting to DFA Daniel Vogelbach. I would mention about Daniel Vogelbach. He has not been playing. So if he hasn't been playing and against right-handed pitching, get him the hell out of here. But FanSide has this. I'm not the only Mets fan uptight about this. Mets fans are fed up with Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer. New York Sports Radio has officially turned on Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander. Let me tell you something about sports radio. They're never on the Mets side. So this idea they've turned on any Met is comical. They attack the Mets at every turn. The two veteran aces brought in to replace the production of Jacob deGrom, who signed with the Texas Rangers on a lucrative deal this offseason. deGrom hasn't worked out for Texas so far. That goes without saying. Ooh, my arm, my elbow. But that doesn't make the Mets smart for letting him walk. As New York has pitched, let me tell you something. They were smart to let him walk. That's the best thing they could have done. Can you imagine he wasn't pitching at all? At least Verlander and Scherzer pitching. They're pitching poorly, but at least they're pitching. Verlander and Scherzer have been up and down so far this season in Queens. The Mets as a whole are 4 games under 500. Are on the verge of selling at the trade deadline should they not turn things around come late July. That is a misnomer. This idea they're on the verge of selling. Where did they get this hint from? Because the owner said that they are going to be patient. Steve Cohen. WFAN host Evan Roberts went off on Verlander and Scherzer, specifically feeling as though they haven't delivered for the fan base. It was a collective fail by the bullpen and Justin Verlander. The Mets spent $90 million on these two mercenary pieces of crap who've done nothing, Roberts said. Max Scherzer pretended to do something because his overall numbers are good, and he's had some really good starts, but think about what he did last year. Max Scherzer pitched well, missed a big chunk of time, and then when they needed him the most against the Atlanta Braves and then in the playoffs against the Padres, he wasn't bad. He was awful. I agree. 100%. New York sports radio airways have been dominated by discontent Mets fans in recent weeks, led by myself, and it's easy to see why. While sports fans in the Big Apple frequently rush to judgment, Steve Cohen has the highest payroll in all of baseball, yet they've been outperformed by the likes of the Rays, the Pirates, and the Marlins. Series defeats the Braves and Pirates over the last week were the last straw for some fans, though Cohen himself is preaching patience. I'm not going to read this part because he said that he's going to be patient with Billy Epler and Buck Showalter. I haven't said this on the big channel, but the way the roster is being constructed, it makes no sense. Why is Daniel Vogelbach here? Why is he on this team if you're not going to play him? And he's performed terribly, by the way. He's performed terribly. If you have Mark Vientos as the prospect that they called up a few weeks back, why is he here if he's not playing? I would mention Brett Beatty's not lighting up, so you could play Vientos at third base if you have to. Just saying. Anyway, let me know what you think about this video. What do you think about the Astros, the Yankees, and the New York Mets? And thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the Baseball Hut too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.